So my next question is from Aaron Smith again, asking whether the sites that you look after, are they high risk of getting broken into or are they dangerous? A lot of them are to do with insurance. So there'll be companies that say, insurance companies that say, look, we'll insure you, but you need to put 24-hour guarding or out of hours guarding in, so that if someone gets nicked, then we'll pay out. If you don't, then obviously they won't pay out. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily because it's dangerous or it's a high risk of getting broken into. Sometimes it can just be an insurance policy that require it, but mainly the reason that you have dogs on there is, yes, it can be a dangerous site, or it can be a high risk of getting broken into with high value items. But I wouldn't say it's just that. You can get some nice ones where you can do like some events where you'll be asked to be there, and mainly the dog is there to walk around and to be a visual thing, so that when people are walking around they can see that the dogs are there, things like that. So it's not necessarily because it's dangerous or because it's a high risk of getting broken into. Sometimes it can just be that they want a dog there just to be more of an intimidation factor. If you go to a festival, you might think, well, I can outrun a security officer. The moment you put a dog there, they think, I'm not going to outrun him. So yes and no, but I would say mainly it's insurance, and mainly just for the safety of the officer themselves. And remember, like I said in the other one, to do with sites, sometimes you have to have, maybe they'll put a dog handler there because they don't have welfare. Like I say, it could be in the middle of a field. You could put a person in the middle of the field, but the thing is that when it's just a security officer, you have to obviously give them some welfare, some toilets, etc. So sometimes it's a dog unit because we're meant to be self-sufficient, where we don't need a toilet, a kitchen, etc. And as you might be able to hear, the weather's taken a bit of a turn for the worst, and the reason that I mop is A, to try and keep on top of the cleaning, and B, I said to you before that on my last patrol I'll make sure that the site is ready for everyone to turn up. I could not mop this quite easily, and they could turn up tomorrow and there's just footprints and mud splattered everywhere. A, it's not very nice for the client, and B, they could turn around to me and say, well, if you're not going to look after it, then you can't use it. So that's the reason why I'm mopping. Normally it's not too bad. Normally I can just give it a quick broom, but obviously with the weather turning, get muddy footprints and that, and I'd rather keep on top of this every hour rather than doing one big one right at the end. Good. Ready? Up. Oh, turn. Sit. Sit. Wait. Right, come then. Was there some sheep? There's some sheeps. Where are they? What are they? Have you ever seen a sheep before? Don't think you have you? So my next question was from Sam Medlin, and he asked, do you mostly work nights, and what are the wages like? So mostly it is at night, because that's obviously when stuff needs to be protected, when people go home. But there is day work as well. If I wanted to do day work, I'd probably have to travel a bit more, and it would be like traveller or squatter evictions. Also, I could work this site of a weekend on a Saturday and a Sunday during the day. So there is day work to do. There's obviously other bits and pieces you can do, but I'd say mostly it's squatter and traveller evictions, and then weekend work. Sometimes you have day work on this kind of stuff, but very rarely, because they have workers here during the day. And wages kind of differ. From what I know, you're looking at maybe £10 to £12 an hour. If you do shifts like I do, so 15 hours, obviously that starts totaling up, and if you do 4 or 5 days a week, with that, I've kind of worked out that to earn the money that I want to, I could probably work 4 days, possibly 5 if I want to get a little bit extra. But to have a comfortable living, I reckon I could probably do probably 4 days, 5 days if I just want to be a bit greedy. But like I say, between say £10 and £12 an hour is what you're looking at really. Anything under 10, I think you should maybe look elsewhere. So my next question from Aaron Smith again. Are you the only person on site, or can there be multiple dog handlers, say if the site is larger? Now, what would happen in regards to sites being single or multiple? So normally you'd have multiple. If you're in charge of, let's say, a gate that you have to open and close quite a lot, normally you'd have 2 dog handlers there. So what would happen is that the first dog handler will go and open the gate, second dog handler is with the dog, about 10 feet behind. The person opens the gate, and then obviously if there's any trouble, then the dog handler and the dog comes in to protect the person opening the gate. In terms of sites, the site I'm on, you don't need 2 dog handlers. This probably comes down to why would you pay for 2 people to do one person's job in theory. So there are sites where obviously if they're larger, maybe you will have 2 people, but I think most of the time you will be working on your own. Have to cover a lot of ground maybe on some sites, but normally you'll be on your own, but occasionally you might work in teams. I haven't got a chance to work in a team yet, and I spoke to someone about it a little while ago actually, about whether I would want to or not, and it's one of them. It would be quite nice to see how the time passes when there's 2 of you. You can have a chat, but then it could be a case that you get someone that maybe you don't get on with 100%, or you don't quite work well together, and then obviously the 15 hours go quite slow, could be quite awkward. So I think it has its upsides and its downsides. For the moment, I'm enjoying working on my own with just a dog, but one day I would like to try and do the team as well. Okay, wait. Sam Medlin asked, how long in time did it take you to pass your NASDO? So in terms of my NASDO, between my first lesson and actually passing, so my first lesson or my first class was kind of like the end of July, and then I qualified in December, so about 5 or 6 months. It took me that long to be ready as a handler to pass, and it also took the dog that long to be ready to pass as well. So it can be done quicker if your dog is ready. If you buy, let's say, a semi-trained dog or a fully trained dog, then you just got to train yourself. It can be done a lot quicker, but I think taking your time. I believe in the how much video that I've done, I told you how many hours I've done. I believe it's triple figures. You have to do a minimum of 60 hours, but I was up around, I think, about 120 hours in order to pass. So there's a lot of hours, but I think it was all well worth it. I don't think that you should just do the 60 hours and go straight in, because I don't feel like you can learn enough of other people and everyone else in order to be experienced to throw yourself straight into this. Aaron Smith, are there many in the company you're in, and would you ever work by yourself, as in going away from the company and just doing the security dog handling on sites without a company, or what way does that work? So I'm not sure 100% how many people work in the company I work for. I know that they are looking for dog handlers at the moment, so if there are dog handlers around sort of the southeast that are looking for work, Prestige, I believe, are still looking for some dog handlers, but they've obviously got mobile teams and others as well. So I can't tell you exactly how many. I don't know whether they want me to disclose that anyway. But I know that they are looking for a few handlers if there's some that are looking for work. In terms of, sorry, what's the second part of that? Would I go away from the company and work on my own, as in going to sites? I feel like that's a question, because I know that my boss is obviously going to look at this and he knows I'm honest. No would be the answer to that. I like to work as in, this is your job, there you go and do it. If you go on your own, you've got to do all your health and safety, you've got to do all the paperwork stuff. And I'm kind of done with that, to be honest. When I come here, I obviously have the bits and pieces that I have to do, but like the health and safety and all that stuff, I'm over that now. So I'll be quite happy just to be told, like, this is where you go, that's your shift, and away you go. Who knows what happens 10 years down the line, but as far as I see it, I don't think so. I'll stay with Prestige for as long as they would have me, or as long as it all stays happy, and just get on and do my work and earn my money and just be happy. I know that they are stopping people from doing that, being sole traders as dog handlers. You now have to be PAYE, so even if I set myself up, I would have to then charge someone like Prestige or another company an hourly rate, and then have to pay myself. So it's not as if I can just say, look, that's how much I'm going to get paid, because you have to charge a company, but then through a company you have to pay yourself on PAYE. So it's quite difficult now, and a lot of companies are not taking sole traders. They are having only PAYE dog handlers. We are just coming up to 1 AM. It's been a pretty standard shift, to be honest. Nothing's really happened, which is good and bad. My toes feel like they're going to fall off. It is quite cold tonight. I actually thought by now, May, that the warmer nights would be here, but it's still 2-3 degrees. And yeah, it's started. I am feeling pretty cold. But we'll carry on our shift. Like I say, another 6 hours to go. Feeling pretty good, feeling pretty fresh. Just wish my toes were a little bit warmer. The sheep standing up, mate. No. Well, good morning. It is daylight again, and last night was, well, frosty. So that concludes the end of the Q&A. I hope that gave everyone answers. Obviously, a lot of the questions that I've done are from the same people. Obviously, I've not got a lot of subscribers, so it's going to be, I'm happy that people are asking multiple questions and trying to get the most out of these Q&As. Hope you like the on-site kind of stuff. There's obviously only so much I can really show you, A, for confidentiality, probably for the customer, and obviously I don't want to put myself at risk of someone watching this video and knowing too much about my site. So like I say, I hope you got everything out of it that you wanted. I hope you comment below some of your answers. My question for you is, what do you think would be your ideal site in this job? So My ideal site, I think, would be like a big golf tournament, because I'm into my golf, a big golf tournament and doing the security there, whether that be during the day or of a night. I think that would be quite cool. I'd like to do that. I think that would be my ideal site. Obviously it would only be for like a week or something, but I think that would be quite cool to try. So in the comments below, let me know what you think your ideal site would be. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll do more of these if you like this kind of stuff. Someone did say to me I should do some more on-site videos, which I will start doing. I've kind of not done it because I don't want to give too much away for customers and that, but actually I think what I do is not too bad and I can do some more of it. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and I'll see you again in the next video. Cheers for watching, see you later.